My name is Raymond Pitts. I'm the past national president of the American Culinary Federation and the current conseiller culinaire de Tazzoni of the Chambre de Sur for the whole United States, and I also sit on the Council Magistral in Paris, France. The utilization of very unique and different spices. Each of these competitors are coming in with their own theme, and I think it's going to be a very exciting morning to really see what some of these up-and-coming chefs and also seasoned chefs can really do with some of the products they were given. They were all given the same spices, same ingredients. I'm really looking forward to it. I was talking to some of the people last night when we had our welcoming reception that you hosted so graciously. We were talking about different unique spices and all of that. The old saying sometimes go, what the farmer doesn't know he won't eat. Well, the same thing if a chef is not, especially an up-and-coming chef, is not aware or knowledgeable in regards to a very special coriander or saffron, whatever the spice or whatever it may be. If they're not familiar with the product, they tend to shy away from it. So I think what you all are doing is educating these young professionals on what a product really is, not only what it is, but where it came from, how it was grown or developed, and those kind of things is fantastic.
Thank you so much, Chef. I got one more question. I know you utilize some Mediterranean sea bass. I want to call it Turkish sea bass. How was your customers' reaction?
Well, once again, your organization was gracious enough to host the 50th anniversary of the Central Florida Chefs Association in Orlando. And we did a sea bass, and we did kind of like an egg Benedict type of a thing. So what we did couscous on the bottom, then we did a piece of sea bass, and then we did a piece of Jones Dairy bacon on it, and then an egg and hollandaise. It was superb, and it goes right back to knowing the product, the history, and its origin of the product, and then go on and research and develop. And that really, they really appreciated you all sponsoring them.
Chef Brett Smith. I'm from King and Prince Seafood. I'm their corporate executive chef, and I met the Turkish Taste group last year at the ACF National Convention, and it truly is an honor to be here and be a judge. I'm excited to see what happens today.
Good. Chef, it's your first time. What do you expect from the contestants?
Well, from what I'm seeing so far, I'm expecting some really great dishes. It looks like there's some seasoned chefs out there, and I'm excited to taste their food and really score them and see who comes out the winner today.
Are you going to be tough on scoring?
I'm going to be a little tough. These guys are seasoned, so you're only doing them a dish justice if you're not being a little bit tough with them. So.
My name is Greg Matchett. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I am the ACF West Region Vice President, and it's an honor to be here today judging the Turkish Tastes competition.
This is your first time. We're doing this for the third time here in Las Vegas. Hopefully we can do it in next year in Denver, Colorado, maybe. Who knows? But how did you find the organization?
You know what? Good friend of mine, Chef Raymond Pitts, turned me on to the organization, and I started doing some research, and what I've seen here today is beyond what I thought it would be. It is very impressive. The ingredients from Turkey are fresh and delicious, and I'm so happy that these chefs are highlighting these ingredients throughout their dishes.
Okay, right now it's gonna be like a little tough question for you. How would you create a fusion with branzino, aka Turkish sea bass?
You know what? I love branzino, and the Turkish sea bass is, I sat next to the supplier for the Turkish sea bass. It's highlighted in the book, so I'm familiar with the fish. And what I would do is I would make maybe a 5 or 6 ounce fillet and score it a couple of times on the top, and I'd throw some nice lemon zest and salt on there, and I would definitely use sumac, right? And I would do a good crispy sear on it, and I would make a delicious type of maybe a white wine reduction sauce, and I would add some of those other Turkish ingredients. Maybe we'd throw some nuts in the crust as well, and then you could really put it in a format of any kind of starch, maybe some lentils, and maybe some eggplant done very well, and maybe add maybe a Mediterranean spin on that crispy skin sumac nut crusted branzino from Turkey.
Well, I'm lucky because we have some extra branzino. Once the contestants are done, why don't you cook us the recipe you just created?
I keep asking if I can start cooking, and they said no, you have to let them cook. But I'm so excited about the freshness of these ingredients and the skill level of the chefs and the techniques. We've got very highly skilled chefs with really, really nice organizational plans, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna make today. And the Turkish ingredients, the ingredient table, I'm sure you got a picture of that earlier, is full of just fresh, amazing ingredients from Turkey. It's very nice. It's going to be great.
Good to hear. Last question. Are you gonna be fair or harsh, or how are you gonna score the contestants?
You know what? There's a rubric, so we have to be exactly fair. I don't know any of the contestants, so we're just gonna see what comes out. We don't know whose plate's coming first, so we're gonna be exactly fair with the rubric, and I'm sure everybody's gonna score very well.
I have Chef Brian Howard from Spaghetti on the Wall here today. So, Chef, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Spaghetti on the Wall is my hospitality group. We own Sparrow and Wolf, located here in Las Vegas in Chinatown, as well as another fast casual brand, Half-Bird Chicken and Beer. So we're excited to be here today.
Well, it's our honor to have you here today. How did you find the organization?
Well, I was humbly invited, through this young man right here, and super happy to be here to judge today. It smells amazing in the room. And I'm excited to learn more about the products that Turkish Taste is doing.
Good to hear. Chef, a question. I know you have like rich cuisine. How would you, let's say, utilize Turkish sea bass branzino in your cuisine?
Sure, absolutely. From what I saw of it today, the fish looks super fresh and delicious. For me, I would probably do something more on the lines of like a kombu cure on it, maybe for a couple of days, just pull the moisture out. Maybe serve it raw and cured with a little brined olive and Urfa beaver spiced kind of topping on it. Something simple and something that showcases the freshness of the fish.
Well, we're having friendly conversation here, but how about the contestants? Like, are you gonna be fair, honest, like direct? What should they expect from you?
Well, I think the only way to be is fair, honest, and direct. I mean, at the end of the day, we're cooking, but what they're doing is the hard part. We get to eat it, so there's no sense of being mean here, but really looking for how well they execute on what they're showcasing today and how they're utilizing the product and the way they cook, and the cleanliness is important. And at the end of the day, delicious is all that matters. So I'm excited to see what they do.
This is an initiative of the Turkish government, and what we're trying to do is that we're trying to promote the 6 major food groups that we have in Turkey: herbs and spices, the pulses, olive oil, we are sea bass, and frozen and fresh fruit and vegetables. The main focus of our effort in America is to say we have an amazing array of great ingredients, and we want you to cook any dish you want with Turkish ingredients. We have some chefs who've actually won some major competitions, and we have some local chefs from Vegas. So it's a cross-section of chefs who are here to compete, and we also have a few celebrity chefs who are actually going to be judging for us as well. Now, what's interesting about our ingredients is that we can make a lot of interesting fusion food. So there's going to be a lot of very nice seafood. There's going to be some bream and sea bass, which Turkey, by the way, is a leading producer of in the world. We are also the second largest exporter, the second largest producer and the 4th largest exporter of olive oil, which is maybe unusual for people to realize. And we have a lot of dried fruits available. We have a lot of vegetables, tomato-based products. We're the largest producer of sun-dried tomatoes in the world. So we've got quite a broad range of products. We've got amazing spices and herbs. We are the largest producers of oregano, bay leaf, sage, things like that in the world in Turkey. So there's going to be spicy, there's going to be herby, there's going to be fish, there's going to be like very nice vegetable tastes, and the fusion of all those amazing ingredients. I'm really excited to see what they're going to come up with.
I did a BLT, my version. I did a fig compote with golden raisins and the dried figs. I incorporated it with sugar, cinnamon, vinegar, onions, but I used it on the goat cheese. So I did a goat cheese spread with sliced bacon in it, and I also did sliced bacon in between that as well.
Based on the ingredients that were given to you, did you find it exciting for you
Yes.
as a professional chef to come up with some different unique dishes?
I'm not used to cooking with these ingredients, the Turkish ones, because I run a Mexican restaurant, so it's a little different. So I don't really use all these ingredients, but it's always good to come out here and use these great ingredients from Turkish Taste.
You know, we had a welcoming reception last night for all of the judges, and we had actually we're at a great restaurant here in Las Vegas. But the more you get a product that's not known to the general professional population, if you will, unless it's within that country, it's very exciting to get that out there to the people, to get different perspective as to what you can and how you can utilize that product. I think it's really great to have such a competition as the one they had here.
Yes,
so I want to thank you on behalf of the judges and obviously your major sponsor, which is Turkish Taste, for participating.
Thank you very much.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Did you find anything you might bring back to your kitchen?
I think more of the seafood, you know, because it's more coastal. So, you know, the fish would go perfect over there, and of course the quinoa, or even a lentil, because that is a little bit more what people are looking for nowadays.
Talk to us about your sauce. It looks delicious.
So the sauce is made with some of the ingredients, not all of them, but some of the ingredients. I did tomato paste, olive pepper. I did sun-dried tomatoes, the tomatoes that they had for us. I used capers, some of the olives in it. I did use some of the vegetables in the quinoa as well.
Thank you, Chef. Welcome. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The highlight of the dish should always be the main protein.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the concept of this. Thank you.
Yes.
I wonder how the
this
tomato-
is a great concept, I think.
I went Italian with infused Turkish ingredients. I did a branzino livornese, reduced onions, tomatoes, Turkish olives, green and black. There's chili and on a bed of rapini with raisins and figs, and on a smear of lentil and yogurt puree. And this is a take on Calabrian shrimp with Turkish chili, fig, raisin, apricot puree that I use the dried figs for, lemon zest, grilled and coated.
What's your favorite ingredient that stands out? Once you opened them and smelled them and tasted them, did they perform the way that you wanted and expected?
Beyond. They turned out better than I would have thought. The spices, the Turkish chili, it was all beyond what I expected.
Did it open your eyes to probably incorporate this in the into your daily cooking
you're
going
not,
forward?
I mean, tied to the, lack of a better word, boring, traditional chili.
Yes.
You could use the flavors and the heat and get the same amount of heat, but a little sweetness at the same time from the Turkish ingredients.
Are you planning on utilizing any of those ingredients in your own place?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
great.
I actually, I cooked for the consulate in Beverly Hills in December, and I was introduced to the ingredients then. And since then, we've been trying to utilize as much as we can for the flavor.
You cooked at his private residence?
I did.
I just happened to be there. That's where I know you from.
Well, there it is.
It was a great meal, man.
I was there that night. So with the chilies, you have heat, and with the apricot, we're boiling it. We use some seafood stock, and you're getting sweetness, but not as sweet as, let's say, a blood orange or something like that. So you're getting a little acid at the end. So the figs, I feel, give it more pastiness, more sweetness. The raisins give it sweetness, and you have some rosemary, olive oil, and panko breadcrumbs on top. So you have a lot of different. You have a lot of sweetness from the shrimp. You have a lot going on. You have soft. You have hard. You have crunchy. You have tangy. You have there's a lot of different consistencies. Okay.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm first generation Turkish American in the United States. Doing this competition was really excited for me because I've utilized most of these ingredients on a day-to-day basis. I do a lot of Latin cuisine. I'm familiar with Italian, French, American. So for this first dish, I did anticuchos de pollo. It's a Peruvian dish. Underneath we did a hazelnut apricot chimichurri. On top we did a sun-dried tomato and apricot salsa verde. I marinated the chicken medallions in cumin, oregano, olive oil, the Turkish olive oil that we got. Seared them gently on the stove. In Peruvian cuisine it's called ají panca, so I made my own version of that. Off to the side, we still have some more of the hazelnut chimichurri as well. This is our first dish. Off to the side, I did bronzino garbanzo alla Navarra. I took the chickpeas, did a tomato and roasted red pepper broth with rosemary, thyme, garlic, tomatoes, the red pepper, Turkish red pepper paste. Reduced it down about 3/4 of the way. Seared the bronzino, poached on top with a little rosemary and thyme, and then I did a apricot green olive tapenade.
So what's your skill level on a 1 to 5 scale, Turkish versus international cuisine?
Five, probably, with Turkish cuisine, yeah.
What about American or international cuisine?
I would probably say 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Really?
I've worked in a couple of Michelin star kitchens. I worked at Alinea up in Chicago, a few places like that. I do a lot of molecular gastronomy. Unfortunately, 90 minutes is not enough time for molecular gastronomy. So, but this is for you guys.
Well, I like that you came as a Turkish competitor in using the and incorporating it into a Spanish or Latin cuisine. So that creativity there is a good point.
Thank you.
I'm excited to taste. Yes.
You could tell the passion in your cooking. Obviously, when you first came out, you your Turkish heritage, and you could really see the passion in you coming out, being able to produce products, that are from your homeland, if you will, ingredients,
Yes.
utilizing them. Do you find any opportunity for you to utilize some of those products in your kitchen?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just became an executive sous chef over at Stream Sauna Resort. I was the head chef of Fin and Feather and a couple other outlets on the resort. We were simply doing Southern cuisine. So I tried to do a little elevated Southern dishes.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Great day. Good luck to you.
It's cheese fry balls with tom yum, eggplant, and roasted red potatoes spread on the bottom, and then dry fruit preserve with lemon zest and garnished with frisee and micro cilantro. And that's your appetizer. For main course, I have Indian spice lentils with char broccolini, branzino, gremolata, lemon froth, and it's called Penang curry. So it's made of Penang curry with coconut milk and fish sauce and all that fun stuff.
Was this
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you were first.
The tom yum is in the puree underneath or on top?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Was this the first time for you in the competition?
Yes.
And did you enjoy it? Did you feel any pressure? Or
A little pressure because I'm new
did
to
you
the
learn
to the
anything?
kitchen. Yes, yes. The kitchen is beautiful, so that make it easier to.
You find that some of the ingredients that were introduced to you, did you find an opportunity for you to possibly utilize some of those ingredients in your kitchen? Or
Yes.
were you familiar with a lot of them already?
Yes, I'm familiar with a lot of them.
Well, I personally thought that you did a tremendous job in the kitchen because I walked by, and I don't know if you noticed me, I checked your garbage can, I check everything.
Thank you.
I thought you did a great job in the kitchen. Well organized, everything was, in place where it should be, waste with the waste and reusable with the reusable.
When you drive creativity within yourself, within your cuisine, within your restaurant, within your competition, what would you do differently? Would you be satisfied, or would you do anything different here or next time?
For these two plates, I would sear the fish instead of. I was gonna try to play it safe, but I think branzino go well with grill with the smoky. So I take a risk and grill it, and then the skin part kind of stick on the grill. That's the only thing that I would do differently.
Did you leave the skin on or you took it off after?
I took it off.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I just present on the other side.
So you had a hard time crisping it? Yeah, everybody did, pretty much.
You need a 500-degree flat top.
Yes.
And
You need
semi-frozen
a hot
fish.
pan and some good butter.
Right.
And a good spatula.
Great.
Great job, thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Chef, thank
Jeff,
you.
you did an awesome job
Thank
out
you
there.
for having me.
Yep.
So what I did a ceviche of branzino, and this has lemon juice, a little bit of lemon juice, but mostly lime juice and orange juice to give it a little bit of sweetness, as well as just kind of really marinate the fish. Marinated with the Turkish spices. We did oregano, sumac, and a little bit of Aleppo pepper to give it a little bit of a punch. A little bit of raw jalapeno to give it that crunch. A little bit of raw onion, some orange segments, and I finished it with the crispy skin of the branzino to kind of use as a chip to give it that little bit of contrast in texture. And just finished it with a bit of extra virgin olive oil, Turkish olive oil on top to give it a nice rounded texture. And then for the second one, for the entree, it's a take on a very classic Mexican dish, which is pescado a la veracruzana. So I did branzino a la veracruzana, but I changed it a little bit. So the way that it's traditionally made is it's tomato, onion, caper, and you get that pretty much steamed with the fish. So what I did instead,
Cornichons in there?
I couldn't find any cornichon, unfortunately. So what I did is I added extra caper to give it a little bit more brininess to it, because it's all about the briny aspect of the dish. So the branzino is cooked, seared, crispy skin, a little bit of brown butter, and then the sauce is roasted tomato that I charred the skins to give it a little bit more of a deep flavor. Onion, roasted red pepper, sun-dried tomato, basically the elements that are in this relish, olive, caper, everything like that. Again, with the spices, oregano, bumped it up with a little bit of the Aleppo pepper, a little bit of sumac. Traditionally, it's not a spicy dish. It's not a hot, spicy dish. So it's more about the fragrance and the flavor of it. Pureed that sauce, passed it to the chinois to get a nice, very creamy texture on it, and then just finished it with a little bit of the components of the sauce, but made it into a relish. Tighten everything up with a little bit of red wine vinegar. So give it a little bit of acidity, balance all the flavors out. So I'm very happy with the texture of the skin. I think it turned out exactly what I was thinking.
How about the texture of the fish in the ceviche?
The texture of the fish in the ceviche, I think it's exactly where I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to go a little bit too over-cured to where it's just a little bit of tight. Yeah, that, and then since it absorbs all that acidity, you will get that almost tannic in your mouth. So it just got it almost to like a medium texture. So it's still nice and soft. It's still very nice and buttery, and the acidity and the sweetness of the citrus should actually complement it very well.
So everyone that tried to do a crispy, and I think you're able to achieve that just by looking at it, looks great to me.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Talk to me about the process, what you do.
So skin the fish, and then with the skin, I was able to press it between two pieces of parchment paper with a lot of the virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt, and just a touch of pepper, and then just press it real tight between two sheet pans and baked it at 350 for about 12 minutes. And that was just exactly what I was looking for.
Great.
Thank you. I wasn't looking to get too much color on it, just enough to get that crispy texture on it. I think that was
Good job, good technique.
Thank you so much, Chef.
The tomatoes that you and I were talking about, I don't know, 2 hours ago, are
Yes.
they pureed and in the sauce?
Yes, they are pureed in the
That's what
sauce.
I'm going for first, right?
Yes.
It's probably better you didn't find the canned tomatoes that we were talking about.
Everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yes,
Everything
I
happens for a
agree.
reason. I think it turned out way better. And also, one of the things that I really wanted to do with this dish, again, because there is so much brightness to it, I wanted to go ahead and baste the fish until I achieved the brown butter. And when I served it, I also applied a little bit of the brown butter on the sauce to really give it a little bit of another kind of flavor, a little bit of nuttiness to it.
Is it brown butter, what I see on the outside?
Yes, a little bit of the brown butter, and then a little bit of the extra virgin olive oil that I used to.
All right, thank you.
It's been a pleasure working for you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Jeff, thank you.
Appreciate it.
He was very thoughtful with his answers. He was
He's a pro.
there's
No
a
doubt.
reason that he did things.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Over here, I do have a branzino crudo sashimi and a kind of chimichurri on top. And I kind of want to garnish it with a little bit of feta. You don't really see feta on a branzino, especially branzino sashimi, but I feel like branzino is so delicate, so fresh, and has great flavor. So I want actually to speak by myself.
Do you feel the salt of the feta will overpower the fish?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't cure the fish at all or anything?
Yeah,
Like
it will taste well. Over here I got the sweet bream. In the center, I call it the fish in the O. This is I use their own skin to kind of make a little O.
I was wondering what that was going to be.
Is that edible? Is it the bone or the?
It's just the skin.
Okay.
Just the skin. So it is more like a, how you call bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon, yeah. In the center, I do have the green lentils, Around I do have a little bit of, after the lentils, I made a little bit of palm puree with a little bit Aleppo pepper. And right outside, I kind of went like a romesco, if you want to call it, with, yes, a lot of all the Turkish ingredients. I do have a little bit of Aleppo pepper inside, we call the dried apricots as well. So kind of, using all those ingredients.
Have you cooked these dishes before?
No.
No? Great.
No.
So did you enjoy utilizing the products that were given to you?
Yes, yes. I just enjoy it. In my backyard, I have a lot of plants and edible plants and a bunch of fresh vegetables. Yeah, 2 kinds of rosemary, mint, thyme, oregano. I love cooking. Yeah. Even after I kind of moms, or papa's child cooking or chefs. I'm from Guatemala. I grew up doing coffee, sugar cane. I grew up fishing tilapia instead of all these delicious ingredients that I have here. So, I'm from Guatemala. I came when I was 16 years old. I came to wash dishes.
Wow.
Only for 6 months. I told my mom, please let me go 6 months and I will come back. It's 22 years later.
Never came
Exactly.
back.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't know that cooking was gonna become a passion for me. Because now everywhere where I go, they were like, "Hey, here, bro, my day off. No, I gotta cooking."
That's a great story.
Yeah,
Did you come to Vegas? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
Only,
you've been here the whole time?
Yes, I only stay a week on LA.
Okay.
And some of my friends were like, "Hey, stay here." I was like, "No, I'm going to Vegas."
Yep.
And I started working for Shinoa's Wolfgang long time ago, decided before the 9/11. So it was, to me, Shinoa is a sweet, old Chinese food. What is this? I never liked it. I never liked it. Now it's, like I said, it's a passion. I love any type of cuisine pretty much. Anything.
What do you cook on a daily basis? What kind of cuisine, like at your restaurant?
So I'm one of the chefs over there for Lotus of Siam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Red Rock,
Very
where
familiar.
we don't do this there.
No.
So Thai food is totally different. A lot of bunch of fresh vegetables with fresh seafood and steak as well.
Great, thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thanks,
Chef. Awesome job.
Good luck to you.
I think that we want an awareness of the fact that Turkey is like a cornucopia of very, very, very good fresh ingredients. So if you think about Turkish food, you have to realize that in the whole idea of the Mediterranean cuisine that is very popular today in the States, Turkey, because of the fact that the Turkish Ottoman Empire was covering all the way from Turkey to Afghanistan, all of Iran, Saudi Arabia, North Africa, to Spain. They even touched on the heel of Italy at one time. Greece was also part of the Ottoman Empire for many, many years. So all of these countries had an input into what Turkish food is and into what Mediterranean food is. So today, by promoting Turkish food, we're also very much promoting Mediterranean food. And if you look at the statistic about good health with Mediterranean food, it's definitely the diet that we need to address a lot of the issues we have in America with diet and food today.
First of all, on behalf of all of the judges, it's our esteemed pleasure and privilege to be here this morning. So let's talk a little bit about the things that we look at. The number one thing that we look at is the garbage can. Now you may ask why. Well, waste. Things that could be utilized for stock or whatever, compost, whatever the case may be. Proper boning techniques where 50% of the meat is not on the bone, and then you throw it away, which could be utilized to make a stock or what have you. The utilization of ingredients, proper cooking methods. There were a lot of great things there by utilizing some of the Turkish taste products in terms of the different seasonings and all those kind of things. And it really goes to show, as the old saying goes sometimes, what the farmer doesn't know, he doesn't eat. Well, the same thing goes for chefs. Well, it's a matter of getting that product out there to educate the general public in terms of the chefs as to what that product is to do. And I think Turkish Taste has done a great job with that, really educating us. We learned a lot today, right, guys? Yeah. I wanted to thank my colleagues. I think they did a great job. I wanted to thank each and every one of the competitors. Hear my words. There are no losers here. You learned something, you made new friends, some great opportunities to bring some new products to your facility. I was very impressed. I usually don't do that, but I'm going to do it this time. Young lady, if you want to stand up for a second. You, that's right. So, I don't know who the winner is, but I was very impressed the way your kitchen was set up. And I mean that. I judge competitions all over the world. That, to me, and that was your first time in a competition, you better get in the middle of it because you've got a great future. Congratulations to you. I really wanted to thank a great mentor and friend of mine, Lucio, who really was in charge of putting all that together. All of our friends from Turkish Taste, thank you for your support.
Third place, Chef Cem Demirhan. Chef. Second place, Chef Robert Lomeli. And the winner of the day, Chef Jasmine Ratanapaz.